Alright guys, I've been working on Arc 3.0 builds all week, and I've finally narrowed it down to the absolute most broken build for Arc 3.0. By the end of this video, you're going to fall in love with this build just like I did. Now, before we jump in, I need you to make me a promise that we're going to keep this build between us. Because trust me, if this video gets out and everyone starts rocking it, we're all f***ed in PvP. Trust me. But don't worry. You're one of the few to be here because the chances of this video actually going viral, hold on, I wrote it down. I did the math. It's 1 in, oh, wow. It's a really fucking big number. Anyways, fuck, it doesn't matter. The whole point is, you're here, they're not. Let's go ahead and get into this broken build on Warlock. That's right, folks. We're going to Warlock. Now, remember to follow every single step, because if you miss one single step on this build, it's not going to work as good as it possibly can. I have a lot of secrets and a lot of tips to get the most out of this coming up build. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in. I'm going to give you everything you need to break PvP with this Warlock build. All right, guys, this is a very nasty build. Let me go over the premise before we go over the mods, the stats, the aspects, the fragments, all of that. But I'm going to go over everything, and every piece of this build is extremely important. But to give you a gist of what it does, what you're going to do is you're going to eat a grenade. And you're going to become amplified and run hella fast. But you're also going to have supercharged Arc Souls, and they're going to be dealing massive damage. Is when you're within distance of another Guardian that you want to take out, you're hitting them with the Arc Souls, and then you're going to slide and hit your melee ability. And you're going to blink forward, and you're going to one-tap them with your melee because of those Arc Souls. And it's extremely broken, and right now I'm going to show you how to get that melee and grenade basically back around the same time, and to use it as many times in a match as possible. To start with the exotic piece, the Getaway Artist. Guys, this is the only way to get amplified on command. Let's go ahead and read the exotic perk. Convert your Arc Grenade into Arc Soul and become amplified. The Arc Soul functions as an autonomous turret. Okay, guys, keep this in mind about these Arc Souls. This entire build revolves around the Arc Souls and the melee slide blink. Now, it's very important to understand how all these work to get the best benefit out of it, because if you're using it incorrectly, you're not going to get the kills that you want. So, let's go over the abilities, aspects, and fragments real quick, guys. For your class ability, you can run healing or empowering. That doesn't matter. Same thing for the jump, but if you're running PvP, you might as well be using the burst. For your super, again, that doesn't matter. Run whichever one you want to do. This is where it really, really matters. Pay attention. Chain Lightning has a base cooldown of 1 minute 30 seconds. Ball Lightning has a base cooldown of 1 minute 53 seconds. Obviously, you're going to want to go with the smaller cooldown, as you're not going to be using the normal melee. What you're going to be using is the Lightning Surge, the melee slide blink. All right, for your grenade, pick whichever one you guys want. I'm using a pulse grenade. I like pulse grenades, but again, you can use whatever you like. Aspects. This is going to be the most important, again, on the build. There's so many important things on this build. But anyways, Lightning Surge. All right. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to blink forward, calling down lightning strikes that jolt targets as you rematerialize. Electrostatic Mind. Defeating targets with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets creates an ionic trace. Collecting an ionic trace makes you amplified, and those ionic traces also give you ability energy back. Something to note is you can use Arc Soul. Now, took me a bit of testing to figure this out. At the very bottom here, it says, well, here, let's just read the whole thing. Cast your rift to create an Arc Soul that fires at targets in front of you. Allies can pass through your rift to get an Arc Soul. Your rift charges faster when allies are near. Well amplified, your arc souls are supercharged and gain increased fire rate. So I thought that I'd have to have this arc soul fragment on to get my arc soul on the getaway artist to proc supercharged. That is not the case. You do not need this fragment. You can rock electrostatic mine, but if you want to rock it, go ahead, because it is going to help your teammates. But I found I had better results with electrostatic mine because, again, it's giving your ability energy back, it's making you amplified, so now you have two ways of getting amplified, so you're basically constantly amplified. Now I'm using Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. The real reason I'm using this is because of the resilience. I needed some extra resilience for my build, but if you have plenty of resilience, I would actually go with sliding over ammo bricks reloads your equipped weapon and grants a small amount of melee energy. And then for the second fragment, I went with Spark of Resistance. This one should be on every single Arc 3.0 build. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, and that's a plus 10 strength. I'm using Spark of Bolts. Finishers make you amplified. Now again, you can't get finishers in PvP, however, that plus 10 recovery is very valuable. Now, while critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. This is a must-have. The two that you don't necessarily need is Spark of Bolts and, of course, Spark of Feedback. And again, I can, replace those with sliding over ammo bricks. Reloads your equipped weapon and grants a small amount of melee energy. And then again, you can use whatever other one you'd like. Let's go ahead and go over the mods real quick. On my helmet, I got Radiant Light. On my Getaway Artist, we're rocking double grenade kickstart. They do stack. On my chest piece, we're rocking Powerful Friends. On my legs, we're rocking an enhanced sword scavenger. I don't know if you guys know this, but this actually works in PvP. Yes, right now, until they fix it, or maybe it's on purpose, swords get larger bonus reserves when you pick up ammo, and it only costs one. But here's the thing, you have to pick up the sword ammo on the ground, not against the wall. If you pick it up on the ground, you're going to get about 17 sword swipes compared to, I think it's like 6 or 7 that you normally get from picking it up off the wall. This is going to like basically double to triple the amount of ammo that you get. And I'm also running Taking Charge. On my class ability, I'm running High Energy Fire, and another really important part of this build, double stacking Outreach. Reduces melee cooldown when using your class ability. All you have to do is pop your class ability. You don't even have to be in danger or anything, just pop that class ability and you're going to get a massive chunk of your melee energy back. Alright guys, let's go over the stats. The most important thing on this build is going to be your discipline. You need it to be 100, okay? That is your first priority, is having 100 discipline, as you're going to be eating your grenades every time you get one to become amplified, run faster, and have those supercharged Arc Soul turrets just fire and melt through people, okay? Second most important stat is going to be your strength. You want this as high as possible. Now, if I could, it would be at 100, but I wasn't able to get to 100. My resilience would be tanked and my recovery would be tanked way too much. So I went with 80. But again, we have the Outreach, so that does make up for it and does level it out to about the same. Again, I'm using a sword with Eager Edge because of the enhanced sword scavenger. Really love the wave frames. Okay, hear me out on this. A lot of other content creators are talking about how to do this slide melee blink with wave frame. Now, with my build, you do not need a wave frame. Okay, all you need is the Arc Souls and the slide blink, and it will take out the Guardian. Now, if you don't use the slide blink melee, you can just use the Arc Souls and one tap with a wave frame. So yes, you can, but I don't like using the Dead Messenger. The Dead Messenger is great. It does have a much wider spread. So if you're going to sprint, slide, shoot, melee button, in that order, I'll say it one more time for you. Sprint, slide, shoot, melee button extremely quickly. This can be very good. But again, if you're using the Getaway Artist, you don't need to go through all that, because the Arc Soul plus your melee slide Blink is going to take out that Guardian, but I still do like having a wave frame, so I went with a legendary explosive personality with auto loading holster and disruption break. Now disruption break is fantastic. It gives you an extra 50% damage for your kinetics. Now the best exotic that I found for this build is the Monte Carlo, because it's going to give us even more melee energy to do those sliding blink forward movements. However, another top choice that I have is the Traveler's Chosen. So those are my top 3 exotics for this build. Is the Traveler's Chosen, which is going to give you grenade energy back, rift energy, and melee. So you could argue the Traveler's Chosen is better. However, the Monte Carlo, it says right here in the description, weapon damage reduces melee ability cooldown. It also says further on there, if you do get melee kills, it increases the chances of it fully giving your melee ability back. So not only do you have a chance to get your melee fully back, just damaging people increases your melee cooldown. So this is really, I think, the top pick. And again, at 100 discipline and double grenade kickstarters, we're really getting our Arc Souls pretty much once Amplified is over. Now, there's going to be one more thing, guys. Make sure you guys are throwing on Amped Up. I don't have it unlocked yet, but we will be unlocking it very shortly. And this says stay amplified longer, and I would put one of these on with one Outreach. And if you combine that, you're going to be able to basically be amped for the entire duration until your grenade comes back.
I feel you on that. Wow, that was really cool, actually. Yeah, then you're good. Here, I need you to hold this. That was on me, baby. He's screaming in my ear saying I need to line everybody up faster.
Alright guys, if you made it this far into the video, make sure you guys are hitting the sub button, the join button, notifications on always. It really does help the channel out. And one more thing, I want to ask one more thing out of you, is if you go out and try this build, which I really think you should, test it out. Come by one of my live streams. We live stream every single Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and let me know how you like the build. Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you break PvP? Is it the best build you've ever tried? Is it the worst build you ever tried? All right? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Charlie Wee!